What's up, my people? Welcome back to Vertical Football. Welcome back to another episode of the Manchester United Fans Corner. I'm your host, Segun. So, guys, it's Monday, and as usual, as you guys all know, we discuss Manchester United. So, guys, terrible match against Brentford in the weekend. Painful loss and a lot of painful moments from Manchester United fans globally. A lot of messages, comments, reactions about the match. Rightfully so. It was a very, very painful one. But I think we just want to analyze now. I feel, first of all, let me say this. I will not be doing my job if I come here to tell you that the reason why we lost against Brentford was because of the formation. I would not be doing my job if every time I come here, I tell you we lost because of Ruben Amorim's 3-4-3 formation, or we lost because Ruben Amorim is stubborn, or because Ruben Amorim doesn't want to change his pattern. Honestly, if I do that and I keep coming to tell you we lost because of the formation, then I'm not doing my job. Then I'm just looking for, in my opinion, the easy way out. I'm not being honest with you. And my job as a football podcaster is not to tell you what you want to hear. Even though, yes, I understand a lot of people have their own opinions about the formation, which I also have my opinion about it. I know it's not a perfect formation. I've said it many times here. And I know a lot of people want me to say the formation was the reason why we lost Brentford's game. But the fact is, if I come out to tell you the formation was why we lost Brentford game, I did not do my job. I just wanted to tell you what you wanted to hear. And my job is not to tell you what you want to hear. My job is to tell you what I saw. And in a case where what I saw is what you also saw, what I saw is what you also want me to tell you, then good and fine. But in a case where what I saw is not what you want me to say, then I think we can have that discussion. And I say it clearly and openly, Manchester United did not lose the game against Brentford because of the 3-4-3 formation. I think it's quite clear. I think, and I did the 5 things analysis on that. But I think it's very, very important to say that. And another thing I want to say is, it is not every time you lose a match in football that is because of the formation. I will repeat that. It's not every time you lose a game in the game of football that it is because of the formation. And that's why I keep saying it here. For those of you that are watching us, I keep saying it here that there are 3 things that determine if you win a game in the game of football. I didn't hear this from anywhere. This is from my own personal experience of watching the game and analyzing the game. And I found out that there are 3 major things that determine if you would win a game of football. The first thing, and I keep saying it, this is, in my opinion, 40% of what is needed to win a football game is that you must have the desire and the passion to win the game. Those of us that have been following us for a long time, I keep saying this. You have to have the passion and the desire. There is no tactical genius you are as a coach if your players do not have the passion and the desire to want to win the game more than the opponent. Bro, that tactics will be wasted. There is no tactics in the world. The first and the foundational thing to win any football game is that you must have the passion and the desire to win that game. The second, which is also 40%, is that you must be spot on your tactics. You must be spot on your tactics. The third, which is 20% of the equation, as designed by me now, is that you must have a bit of luck. You must have a bit of luck. You must be able to force your luck. So whenever I watch a game, and this is the 3 things I used to analyze every game. Now, pushing it out there. I look at it. Did we lose this game because of tactics? Analyze it. Okay. If it's a game we lost because of tactics, okay, this is why we lost the game. This is the mistakes the manager made in terms of his tactical approach, in terms of, maybe substitution and everything. And I will tell you, okay, this is what made us to lose. Tactics and substitution, this is what made us to lose. It wasn't the basic formation. It was maybe the game management. It was maybe, the substitutions he made. I will analyze it for you. But if I feel that we lost this game, not because of the tactics, then I look at other areas. Did we lose this game because our players were not ambitious or more ambitious than the opponent? I look at number 3, did we lose this game because of individual errors? Did we lose this game because luck was not on our side? So there are many ways to analyze a football game, but to just come and say we lost the game because of the coach and the formation for every match then that means I'm not doing my job. If I ever do that, I'm not doing my. Every week I come to say, if I tell you that, then I must give you reasons why we lost because of tactics. And so, guys, what is the purpose of this episode? I want to analyze Manchester United currently, especially about the Brentford game, because that's our last match that we played. I want to analyze this team on the lens of these 3 points. First, the passion and the desire to win a game. The second is tactics and substitutions. And thirdly is luck. So I want to analyze this, our team. Now, the first point, desire and passion. For those of us that have been following us for a very long time, I keep saying it that a lot of the matches Manchester United have lost after Sir Alex Ferguson, a lot of the matches, and if I was to give a percentage, I would say more than 60% of the matches Manchester United have lost against teams after Sir Alex Ferguson was not as a result of tactical mistakes or substitution mistakes. A lot of the matches we've lost after Sir Alex Ferguson, I can boil it down to one single point. We're not as hungry, we're not as ambitious as the opponent, or more than the opponent. The Brentford match was a typical example. Not the only reason, but that was a major reason why we lost that match. I saw the way Brentford ran. I saw the intensity. I saw the passion, the mentality to want to win the game. And when I look at it, the Brentford match really affected me in a way because I was watching the game and it was just as if you take Erik Ten Hag's second game against the same Brentford at G-Tech Stadium. A certain player that with us was with them, Ruben. He scored a goal in that game. I think that moment, if Everton was seeing Brentford. And it was just as if there was a replay of what happened 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, or 3 years ago, 2 years ago, with Erik Ten Hag, and you just copy and paste. I think the scoreline in that game was 3-0. Maybe now we just say we have 1 goal. I also remember, like in this game that we played a few days ago, the Brentford fans were we're singing some songs, taunting Brandon Bemu. But remember also in that game 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, they were also singing a song to taunt a particular player that was played for them the season before, in Christian Eriksen. For me, it broke me. That what I saw in that Brentford game, in my own analysis, was what I saw 2 years ago. The same issue. And let me remind people, maybe because many of us, maybe we might have forgotten. They scored us 1 goal from set piece. That was Lisandro Martinez's second goal, where people started saying Lisandro Martinez is too short. He cannot cope in the Premier League, right? Then like Jamie Carragher came out to say that. But I think they scored us, was it 4? I think it was 4-0, yeah. 4-0, and I think the 4-0 came in the 35th minute. By the 35th minute, I think they scored either 3 or 4-0. Yes, to remind you of that match. And I remembered also that they scored us early goals. It was continuous. And a lot of the goals, at least 2 of the goals, came from counter-attack situations where we were playing a high line. I also remember also that there was a certain player that was at fault for a couple of these goals in person of Harry Maguire. And how that Erik Ten Hag, after that game, because the first 2 matches against Brighton and against Brentford, he used Lisandro Martinez and Harry Maguire in the defensive position. And after that game, he used Lisandro Martinez and Rafael Varane. And that was took us to the end of the season, where we ended up winning the Carabao Cup and doing so well in the Champions League with the defensive duo of Licha and Varane. And it was as if it's the same thing I'm seeing. And then the question I want to ask is, if I am seeing the same thing I'm seeing last 2 years, and I'm still seeing it now, can I now say that the totality of the fault is on a manager that just came a few months ago? Can I really say that? If I come out and still tell you that, I'm deceiving you. Now, I'm not saying the manager doesn't have his own issues, which I will come to. But I'm telling you that this runs deeper. The manager. I've been supporting Manchester United now for over 20 years. This is the only club I've really supported. This is my club. As many of you are that watching me, I've supported for longer years. I've seen a lot of the ways we lost games. I've seen that a moment where we say, this is the match that we should win to make a statement, we always lose that matches. And sometimes we lose that matches in a terrible and embarrassing way. Even before the so-called Ruben Amorim came into the club, I have seen situations where managers will be doing well in other clubs, fantastically well. Sometimes they are coming with 100% or 90% win records in where they're coming from, and they come to this club and they fumble. And the people we are bringing to solve our problem, we end up saying that they are problem, and when they leave, our problem still remains. Now, you can have an opinion about Ruben Amorim. We are coming there, but this is the issue. I remember Erik Ten Hag. Yes, we have our issues about Erik Ten Hag. Quite correct. I saw the amazing performance he was doing in Ajax, the amazing football they played this season before we brought him. How that they had an amazing record in the Champions League group stages. I think they won all their matches, even beating Ruben Amorim Sporting. I think 5-0 or so. And now that he came to Manchester United, and this club swallowed him up. It was even before Ruben Amorim came that Gary Neville famously said that Manchester United is a graveyard for coaches. Before Ruben Amorim came. I'm not supporting Ruben Amorim, no. Please don't get me wrong. I'm just trying to make a point. What exactly is going on in this club? And if you tell me what is going on currently is the 3-4-3 system, then the question is, have you watched Manchester United for the past 10 years? Like we have watched it, because what I see 2 years ago is what I'm still seeing. Sometimes what I've seen for the past 10 years is what I'm still seeing. Yes, the players may change, the manager may change, but this same thing keep occurring. The question I ask is, what then is wrong with this club? What then is wrong with this club? And if I come again, I repeat, and say it's the 3-4-3 system, I'm deceiving you. And I don't want to deceive you, because I want to be honest with you. Now, another thing I have seen players do so well in other clubs. Oh, this player, fantastic player, amazing player. Let's get him in. Fantastic. Everybody's always in agreement that this player is going to be a good player. For most of the signings we've made as a club, we're always in agreement that these players are going to be good players. But when they come in, most of them try for the first season. They keep up the levels. The second season, they become like others. What is going on in this club? What exactly is going on in this club? These are my questions. I have seen how for more than 5 years, especially after Mourinho's period, how our team crumbles under pressure. Most especially during Ten Hag's time, and even now during Ruben Amorim's time. There is something about crumbling under pressure. Like, sometimes they start the game with that vibe and that intensity for first 20 minutes. The first 20 minutes we are seeing now under Ruben Amorim, it's not just now. Ten Hag, remember, Ten Hag, we will play for first 20 minutes. After first 20 minutes, when it's 20 minutes just now, you're just okay now. They'll start playing, and they will start playing rubbish. What exactly is going on? And I keep saying it, the problem at Manchester United is much more tactics. There is something deeper. And if you say it's tactics, maybe you're looking at the now, which we are coming to tactics. We're going to discuss tactics. But I tell you, it's more than tactics. Because what I see when we're using 4-2-3-1, when we're using 4-3-3, is what I'm seeing when we're using 3-4-3. The same issue. The lack of ambition, the lack of mentality, going to a Brentford side 2 years ago and now, and Brentford side is having more motivation to want to play us and even scoring us early goals. Early goals. The team crumbling under pressure. The team making mistakes. I don't know what exactly is going on.